A lot of people in the gun community now are talking about the new executive orders by President Obama. Now, these are the executive orders that deal with the reimportation of certain military-style firearms. A lot of people are wondering, is this something he can even do? Well, yes, legally it's something he can do. His office has full power over the offices that he oversees to do things like this. So it is something they can do. Moreover, a lot of people are saying, is this something we should even fight? Because it just doesn't really seem like a big deal to me. It doesn't affect me at all. Now, believe me, it'd be really easy for me to sit back and say, this doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't matter. I'm not into these types of guns. I'm not interested in military surplus guns at all. Don't want one, so I don't care if they're available to me. But, I always say, they're not really used in self-defense, so it's not a self-defense issue. They're not used in crime, so it's not a crime issue, so I just don't care about them one way or the other. But that's my own personal opinions. So for a lot of people like me, it's easy to sit back and say, no big deal. But it is a big deal. You have to remember one thing. Right now, the anti-gun crowd is not winning the battles in the courtrooms. They have to find some other way to win, so they have to shift the battlefield. They have to take it from a legal battle to a battle of public perception. And that's exactly what this is. This is a battle of public perception. When they're allowed to do things that say guns are bad without any real reason for saying guns are bad, like saying we're doing this to stop crime because these guns are getting into the wrong hands. That's public perception. They're making people think, oh, well, good, they're getting guns out of the wrong people's hands. And there's no challenge to them on, are they really getting them out of the wrong people's hands, or are they just taking an incremental step towards a grander scheme? Well, I hate to break it to you, we're not dealing with stupid people. So when you sit back and see them do things that don't make any sense, like banning the reimportation of military-style weapons to help stop crime, you just go, that doesn't make any sense. They're not used in crimes. Try to find a crime that involves one. Well, it's really easy to say they're just stupid. They're not accomplishing anything. They're not stupid. They are doing these things to make themselves one step closer to their real goal. They're chipping away. Believe me, these people sit down in a room and they say, how can we do enough that we are actually a step closer to our goal, that we've changed a few minds, we've soured a few people against firearms, but we don't do enough that we actually anger the people that are protecting the gun rights, that they don't actually stand up and fight against us and make us prove what we're saying. So when we don't fight back, we're giving them exactly what they want. We're letting them get one step closer to their goal while sitting back quietly and just letting it happen. So we have to fight. Even little things like this, we have to fight. Now, you can't really just go out and picket, because there's nothing really to picket. And you can't really go out screaming too much because people are like, this is not a big deal, what are you screaming about? So the problem is we keep allowing ourselves to be on the defense on situations like this, where we keep having to fight back when we feel like we're challenged. We have to get ourselves out of that mindset. We have to start doing things that puts us in the public light at times when we're not being attacked, at times when we're not actually in a fight, times when we're just being ourselves and presenting a good face for the gun community. Now that's why I've been talking to a lot of other gun channels of trying to set up something where gun owners stop hiding in the closet. It's like a coming out of the closet for gun owners. Something we could do maybe monthly, something that's organized, something that we have a structure for. I'm not talking about a bunch of crazy people just running around challenging police officers and doing things willy-nilly and presenting a bad image, which we see happen a lot. I'm talking an organized movement of people doing something together, showing that there are a lot of us, that we are ordinary everyday citizens, that we are responsible people, we are organizing, and we are letting you know why we do what we do. Now, we don't have it nailed down completely yet. We got a pretty good idea. But we're going to, work on the actual bones of the project for a little while before we actually throw that at everybody. And until then, we're going to try to get as many gun channels involved as possible. Now, I probably won't get the really big gun channels. They got their own thing going on. And let's face it, some of the really big ones, they don't involve themselves in the dealings of lesser men. But we're going to try to get as many gun channels as we can. There are a lot of gun channels. And I'm not just talking ones with 100, 200, 300,000 subs. I'm talking gun channels with 200 subs, 100 subs, 50 subs, and up. So pay attention for the next couple of weeks here, and hopefully we'll bring you something a little more organized, and I'll have a little more information on it. Something we do maybe every third Thursday of the month, like I said, with printed t-shirts, with printed information, that people are organized and they go out there armed and ready in more ways than one. Because I don't know about you, but it's time for us to stop just reacting. It's time for us to stop allowing the general population to just see the one side doing things that are for the safety of the children, and then seeing us rant and rail and wave our guns and scream to the heavens after they do. It's time for us to start actually acting. It's time we start acting in a way to build a more positive opinion of the gun community and the general population. It's time we stand up and act like the men we are. It's time we stand up and show that we are upstanding, honorable, law-abiding citizens. We are your friends, we are your neighbors, we are your family. We do this for a reason. We don't do this because we have some sort of weird love affair with firearms. We don't do this because we are sportsmen. We do this for an even more fundamental reason. And it's time we start letting people know what that reason is in a more vocal and visible way. It's time for us to come out of the closet, so to speak. It's time to stop reacting. It's time to start acting. It's time to be seen. It's time to be heard. It's time to do this in a positive way. And it's time to take back everything that's ever been taken from us and do our best to make sure it's never taken again. You ain't even my real dad.